Welcome back. Another episode of Aunt and Andrew with Family's Everything.
Until it's not. Andrew, I
Yes,
love Salt Lake, but
I
I
know you
don't
do.
I don't
You
like
want to go
Todd.
there on vacation? I think you do. Party.
I've been to Salt Lake, but only the airport.
Uh,
Like London.
yeah, like London and everyone in Bravo. That's so
You know what,
fun.
Salt Lake Airport well, it wasn't that long ago, but probably 15 years ago, that was the first airport I went into where they had these clear glass rooms in the middle of the terminal that you could go
Oh,
in and smoke. And I thought all these people are in a room and had special air
vents.
purifier. Yeah, but
I
it
was gonna
was
say, did
like
it look like a
people were
smoky
like in a
fishbowl?
glass. Yes, people were in a glass room, like smoking up. It was so funny. That's what I think
So
of
you
Salt
went and
Lake.
stood outside the thing and watched them?
Maybe in a costume. I
Oh, like
want to tell you
Bronwyn.
that the Todd father,
Oh,
he's not looking good to me.
I have to say though, his mediocre tequila joke was great.
Oh, it's mediocre tequila.
That was
That was
just shady.
nasty. It
It
was
was, but listen,
shady.
if it wasn't against Lisa Barlow, you would have thought it was great.
It was shady. I know, because I love Lisa, and
I
I
know,
loved
and I
how
don't love it
John
for
defended
Lisa.
his wife. He sticks up for his wife.
Yeah.
He does. He
How long do
sticks
you think
up
that
for his
scene,
wife.
how long do you think that scene took to film when they're at the table? When they finally said, "All right, who wants to tell a joke and wrap this up?" And then Seth Marks was like, I do."
Yes,
Because
Seth.
like they
Oh,
kept
he's
cutting in and out. And if you ever want to notice how much editing there is in reality TV, focus on something in the shot that's not going to change, like the drinks on the table. And when you see them
right.
go down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, you're like, oh my God, that other thing definitely happened
Well,
10
that's
minutes
true.
before,
Yeah,
20 minutes
that's
later.
true. Mm. Um, I ah, I'm almost glad, like when he says I have to make a call, like blah, 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 blah. And he wants to go enjoy his lunch. And I just thought I really am. I'm almost happy that Whitney and Lisa are arguing because he's not enjoying his lunch. That's how much I dislike Todd at this point.
I have
I'm
so many
glad he's
questions.
having a bad time. Like it actually brings me joy. And I'm a little cold.
Do you think Todd wouldn't pay for the ride home on the jet?
Yeah, like what was that about? Why didn't they just get a private plane home too? And Angie was so shady. We have a ride home.
I mean, like I also am wondering, like, why did Bronwyn book their flights home and not NBC? Like,
I mean,
they're
Bronwyn
working.
technically, no. Bronwyn technically, does she have their TSI numbers, TSA numbers, and all that stuff? No. Does she know their date of birth, their frequent flyer numbers, or any of that? No. So she never booked it.
But then Lisa Barlow wouldn't have been able to act that way, and she would have been yelling at production if they had booked it.
Well, I mean,
Did you watch What Happens?
mm-mm.
Andy asked Angie K and this podcast guy that's there, who's apparently this massive podcaster who has a husband and a boyfriend. It was
He's
all about
very,
it. It's called
he's,
like something, I don't know, I forget his name. But anywho, Andy asked them if they'd be okay with Coach. And they both said, of course. And Andy goes, oh, I think Darren would be on that, my sister. I'd be like, no, well, I don't think so. I would be.
so Andy's not going coach,
He said no.
not for a 46-minute flight.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. I would fly coach for a 46-minute flight. But I wouldn't go in the back of the plane. I'd have to have a seat up front.
I think that if I said to
I
Andy,
can't sit in the back of the plane. I will have a panic attack.
same, but I also have to say, I think that I think it's a different ball game. If Andy Cohen, you're going on a flight by yourself, I can see why you're like, I'm not going to coach. But if you were
Yeah.
on the plane with like Anderson, John Mayer, Kelly
Oh, and you were
Ripa,
all
Mark
sitting in
Consuelo,
17A, B, and
yeah,
C.
but it would be different because you'd be around a bunch of people that also are celebrities and you wouldn't stick out like a sore
Maybe.
thumb. I think
Yeah.
Andy's letting it get to his head that he'd go back to coach and everyone as he walks by all the seats would be
Lisa
like,
was funny
you
that
know,
she
like,
hasn't been
that's
in
Andy
coach
Cohen.
since she
That's
was
Andy
in high
Cohen.
school. Yeah. I don't like flying JetBlue even if I'm in even more space. I don't want to talk about what a diva I become when it comes to airline travel.
Thing.
I can't do it.
Yeah, no, like
Yeah, it's hard for me. But people just turned us off right now because they think we're elitist, that we like to fly first class.
listen, if you're booking like east of the Mississippi and you're on the East Coast and you book early enough, it's not that much more money
Uh,
than it's when you
it
book.
really isn't.
It
I
isn't.
figured it out by the time I do even more space and pay for my luggage. And when, first class gives you two free,
Yep, two free luggage. So if you're
and
going
they
to
give
Atlanta,
you up to 70 pounds, not
yeah.
50.
And truly, you don't have to buy like you can get a coffee or whatever in the airport, but like they give you like it depends what what you're doing. Like I don't like airplane food that much. I don't really eat it, but
Oh, I'll eat
um
it.
yeah, I don't. But I think it's worth it depends what you're traveling for. I mean, and then
Yeah,
also
of
depends.
course, of course. Well, anyways, I'm going to tell you that the whole thing with Todd is he's going to be devastated when this comes out of how
She put
he's
up,
being.
did you see her post on social
No,
media?
what'd she say?
She put up a post like all in defense of their marriage that went up yesterday. It was like, tonight's episode's a hard one. I should have started the toast with how amazing my husband is.
Yeah, she was
This.
bad. I mean, she just let it be known that it's the black card and the money. She wouldn't be with him because let's face it, he's doesn't have any real sex appeal. And I feel like, oh, he's so Tom Girardi. I mean, it's like it's building in the way that this. I think that he talks down to her and he
Yes.
controls her. And because she is a strong woman like Erica Jane is,
Mm-hmm.
that then she comes off as a bully to other women as a reflection of how she's treated. So she can't fight
She
back to her
projects.
husband. Huh? She
Projecting.
projects. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. But she turns what he's doing to her onto other people, just like Erica Jane did the same exact thing to other people. Her nastiness was because Tom was nasty to her and she couldn't talk back to Tom. And Bronwyn can't talk back to Todd. And
Exactly.
so anything else that happens, she just, lurches out at them.
Yep.
And it's a whole psychological thing. I'm telling you, this is Girardiville 2.0.
Thankfully, Todd is not in the same financial or career place as Tom Girardi.
We don't know that. I'm just
We don't.
saying.
We don't,
We
but
don't know it. I'm just saying.
but also Tom Girardi did not come on in the amount of seasons Erica was with him, what, 4 or 5, as much as Todd has come
Oh
out.
yeah, Todd's like
Yeah, he has
obsessed with
nothing to
it.
hide. He clearly isn't anxious behind it. He
And
doesn't want to. Yeah, I just
I'm
don't know what
sorry,
show did you think he was coming on. Like it's just
I
and
know. Didn't he watch
this
it?
trip
I
seems. Could you
mean,
imagine watching this trip like in live time without editing? It seems so chaotic. It seems so divided. It seems so separated. There's so much going on,
and it seemed like a lot was missing
but
because
also
we
like
never
we look
really
at.
just saw them like waking up in the morning and like having messy hair and coffee or any of that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It seems so divided, so produced, and also I find it so weird that Bronwyn is saying that she and Todd have great anniversaries and they love each other so much. So you decided to bring a bunch of people that you just met on your anniversary trip
Yeah.
and that you thought your husband was going to be comfortable and fun and the person that you know him as around a bunch of people that he doesn't know. And did he really think that you guys were going to be able to keep your drama at home?
No.
Like this is the Real Housewives, and I just don't. It actually makes me more angry because it makes me feel like not only Todd do you talk down to Bronwyn, not only Todd do you have no boundaries around when you talk down to Bronwyn,
In
but you
front of
also think
whomever.
you're above NBC Universal and
Yeah.
Bravo, and that you can control a reality show. Like
Yeah,
it's
you can't.
that. Like I
Yeah.
because you can't be president and CEO of Palm Pilot, Palm, and not know that when you sign up for a reality show, like things are gonna happen. That
Yeah.
like, yeah,
And Tom Girardi was probably a little bit more savvy because he was in Hollywood. He'd been
yeah.
around productions and everything, and he knew how these things go. This guy isn't prepared for this. He's coming off terrible. And I think some of it is just jealousy of the fact all the husbands are hot and he had to
Also,
wear
maybe
his
that
shirt.
Bronwyn's getting the attention in their family, and it's always about
Oh,
it's
yeah, but
been
he
always
was
about Todd.
horrible at that dinner with, we're not talking about Gwen. We're not talking about Gwen. Like, and she went, she's so afraid of him. She's
Is
so afraid of
Gwen's
him.
her daughter?
Yeah.
Not his.
No, but he
Hers.
must feel like he does have ownership of her. I'm sure he pays her bills.
Maybe, but my point
What do you
is
mean
like,
maybe? Who else is there? The father's
oh
dead, of
yeah, of
course.
course
Yeah,
he's paying the
yeah.
bills.
He pays the bills for
No, I'm
her.
saying more maybe he thinks that because of that, like, or that he thinks he has power. But I just think like it takes a bold person, not gonna say man, takes a bold person in a relationship to jump in and insert themselves that way around a
Uh,
child that isn't biologically theirs. Even doesn't matter how long they've been supporting them, how much they've been there. I personally think it's wildly inappropriate on a show that she's cast on when she has been open talking about her daughter and bringing her on the show and having conversations that were pretty deep and serious.
mm.
And he has the audacity then to helicopter like the
And
conversation
then yell at
around.
Lisa for bringing it up.
Exactly.
Well, it was kind of wrong of Angie to bring it up. Angie put her foot in her mouth, but she does that sometimes.
They
And I
all
think she
do.
knew.
They all do, though. They
I've
really
done wicked
do.
bad things like that myself, though, so I can't talk about
But they
anybody
all
else.
do. And that's the part of this that I think is like, and that's where I hear where Bronwyn's coming from. But I also think that, like, Bronwyn, like, you can't expect the women to treat you justly and fairly when you don't even have a husband that treats you justly and fairly.
True.
Get what you
True.
give. And so when people see the way he treats
Right.
you,
I mean, like she's talking about when she was talking about, well, little did we know that John Barlow just has to say that's it and it's over. Thank God the husband's here. Like, and condescending to John when your husband's talking to you like you're dirt on the bottom of his shoe.
what do you think about Seth Marks?
Oh, I don't know. I go back and forth on Seth. I love that he wore a Brooks Marks hat to the party. Good for him.
So
He's
I
not
thought at
missing
first
a
that what they
chance.
were accusing what's his name of Angie's husband,
Sean.
Don of, I think too many husbands. Let's not talk about the husbands.
Ugh,
I,
I need
my
that Diet Coke. In the future, I'm having one before I record with you. Go ahead.
That's great. You Aunt gave up some coffee for
I
after
gave
the
up.
afternoon.
I used to
So
have a coffee or a Diet Coke in the afternoon to give me a little boost, but I've given it
that's
up the
good. We're,
last
we're
three
here for you.
days
We're
and I'm still
supporting you. We're
dragging.
supporting you. We're picking you
I
up.
hope
We're
I
picking
get
you
through
up.
it.
Put a comment in the section and tell Aunt
Yeah.
how much you're working with her to pick her up. You're there for her. So my thought is that, like I initially thought that when Sean was saying that comment on the podcast, that it was more that Mare was behind Brooks's brand and
You
that
mean
he
Maya?
was Mare. Well, you said
Maya?
Mary last week. Um, Mare. I was saying that I think that Meredith is. I was thinking that what Sean was really trying to say was that Meredith uses like Brooks as a way to like use the show to sell a brand, and I'm like, no, that kid like actually has. I say kid, but he's like an adult. Like this is what he wants to do
He's
with
her
his life. Like
child, though, so it's a kid.
I don't like that they're using him because if there's anyone out of all of their children on the show, on
Yeah.
this show,
Yeah.
and correct me if I'm wrong, viewers or listeners, I think Brooks Marks has actually been the most open and the most like front facing of
Out there.
all of the
Yeah.
kids.
But none of their kids are really an integral part of
No,
this
but
show.
he was earlier on, and like he was the brunt of Jen Shaw saying things about Brooks, homophobic things. Like he's been carried forward a lot. And
Yeah.
so I just think like Sean, you're better than that. And like Sean, if we really wanted to, what I think people should be saying is how your wife said when it was your
he,
favorite sex position, that
he had the proof.
she said behind. And I question, does she like it from behind or is she
Oh.
putting on a strap on and giving it to Sean from behind?
Ooh. Oh,
Shots
bang.
fired, Angie K. I just don't like it. I don't like that Sean's denying that he said something about Brooks. You clearly said something about Brooks.
Oh, snap.
Well,
Wow.
he's saying reverse cowboy, whatever.
Oh, I know. There was too much. I hate that
I know you
stuff
do, but I'm
anyways. I
saying it
hate
because of
it.
the
I
fact that,
hate
like,
it.
I don't
Oh.
like this idea that, like, wait, of all people, Sean, you
But
think
Sean
it's
was bitchy.
appropriate
He was
to go
bitchy.
after an openly gay guy
Right.
who also,
After he had accusations last year of being gay
that's my whole
himself.
point.
Yeah, well, you forgot to mention
Yeah,
that for
that's what I was
those who
about to
aren't
say. But
watching.
also, if
Yeah.
he thinks about it with Brooks, like no one knows this because it didn't. Well, I think people that follow the show know it or they follow the blogs. Brooks Marks wasn't out when this show started. And when he was doing
Oh,
interviews, press interviews during season one, a blogger on the red carpet said, how does it feel to be showing, your sexual preference as a gay man on a show for millions and being an example for people? And he was like, it's nice.
oh,
And he
yeah,
had
yeah,
never come
yeah.
out. So it's like, Sean, know what you're talking about because I can just see how that would piss Meredith off. And with Seth, I think Justin's right that he said biatch and he meant bitch, of course.
Yeah, of
I'm not
course,
going
of
to debate
course.
that. I thought that Seth was a little aggressive with his tone. I
I
think that
think they were all aggressive. I think Todd's the most aggressive.
I didn't like the phone, the forward, the action. I think he could have been like, I think
The
he could have been like,
action.
I think he could have been like, here's the proof. What else does my wife have to do, to get you guys off her back? I'm fucking sick of it. This is
Yeah.
unbelievable. Like John Barlow kind of said that. And I just think it comes off. I think John Barlow looked a lot stronger at
Yes.
that table and in
Yeah.
his interviews when he was just saying, like, Lisa could say this or Lisa wouldn't even need to be there and it would be her fault. It would be this, it'd be Lisa's fault. Like what else is Lisa's fault?
Yeah. It was all,
That
I
seems
thought he had
stronger
her
for me
back. Yeah.
than Seth.
Now, I want to ask you, do you think we'll ever see that necklace again?
I wonder. I was
No.
listening back to our episode last week and we were shading her saying that they just brought it on. They could have
Yeah,
lent
no.
it to her.
They lent it to her. We're never going to see that necklace again. No, we're never going to see that. If we see that like 5 episodes from now, then I'll eat my words and I'll apologize. But I think the friend who was there was really the security guard who was watching the necklace.
Which friend?
Well, they had other friends who were there at the table. Angie didn't have a whiteboard for them. They had other friends there.
Oh, I don't know if they were. I think that the lady that came in had security that we didn't see.
Yeah, I just think that there was security with
Oh,
that
I
necklace
have a feeling that the security was there, but they weren't but
on film.
they weren't on
Yeah,
camera.
yeah, yeah. No, no, no. There's no way she's
He
ever.
also could have he also might have been willing to sign a like
He loaned. It was a loaner for the night.
but what might not even been a loaner for the night. Don't think that they didn't come and pick it up at 8 p.m. I mean, you know that I traveled
No,
um
I mean like an hour later. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I mean,
Oh, would be
I
a
was
good
in
indication to go
Spain.
back and look to see if it was off of her when she went in the pool with the ladies. Oh, I'd like to know if it was still on her when she went in the pool because they went in the pool later at night. The
Yes,
ladies. I wonder if she had it on because where's she going to put it? She's not going to put it in the safe in the house. She's not going to just take it out and leave it around.
you're right.
I
You're
bet you
right.
it's gone.
Well, so I'll tell you that when I traveled to Spain with
Yeah.
someone, as you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
they had jewelry that they were supposed to wear at the program. They
Event.
did,
Yeah.
yeah. And they arrived, the brand ambassador arrived and with security.
Yeah.
And then but we then took the car service to the event without the brand
Security.
or the
Okay.
security. We had our own security, but not the jewelry.
Yeah.
But then when the brand ambassador came to pick up the pieces at the end of the program, the security was with her as well.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I know they do that because they always show at the Oscars when they're wearing this and that and that. They have a security guard with them the whole time.
This person also, I think there's a different relationship and it's done more often. And it's something where because this person has security with them all the time,
Right. Right.
I think there's a different agreement because there's personal security. So
Yeah,
like
I understand that. Right. I just know it's something like the Oscars. It would be so easy for some random, you know, assault team to come in with assault rifles and take their jewelry.
they probably have a holding room though too at the Oscars. Like I bet they have a safe
Maybe.
room.
I mean,
I bet they have a
it's
safe
as I'm
room.
just going to say there at the Oscars, there are tens of millions of dollars of diamonds floating around, and they're got to be kept an eye on, is what I'm saying. No, so I don't think we'll ever see that necklace again, is my
No,
guess. I
no.
don't. And I'm going to tell you, um, Shaw, she's with Todd because he has money. She would never be with him if he didn't.
Well, what if there was
Now,
a time years ago that he was decent, good? Like we
no,
saw
no,
the
no,
older
it's not
picture.
about that. It's not about that. She's such a strong woman and everything. It is about he bankrolls her.
Okay.
And that's fine. He wants a beautiful wife. They maybe respect each other somewhat, but she's there for the money. She wouldn't have looked twice at him if he was a garbage man. I'm just saying.
Okay.
And it's not about his looks. It's about, first of all, his personality is horrible.
That's the thing.
And
See, that's the part I want to focus on.
yeah, yeah,
We're not making this up. This isn't saying he's shy or whatever. He's an
no,
asshole.
yeah, thank you. I think so too.
I do
And
too.
she wouldn't be with him if he was a garbage man, but she tolerates it because he has a black card.
And maybe he was more tolerable before, but that's part of the game, girl. Like,
Well, not only that, in any marriage, you know, every little thing they do when you're young, you just think it's cute, and then it gets to annoy you.
but they don't have a prenup.
Oh, that's his fault. He's a smart businessman.
Did he leave Palm before they got married?
I don't know. I don't know. But you know
We'd
what?
have to look and see.
These days, the way most prenups are made is that like under 5 years, you only get like a little settlement, and then 5 to 10, you get a little more, and then it's after 10 that you actually get real bank. Before
Yeah.
that, you don't get much. Because I went on and looked to see when Marla Maples and Donald Trump got divorced, and they got divorced within 5 years, and so I don't think he had to give her much money.
Well, he got child support. Or she got child support.
No, no, and she got money. That's one thing. All of Donald Trump's ex-wives have all said that they got nothing bad to say about him.
He's always taking care of them. Yeah.
He's always taking care of them. They've never wanted for anything. He just say what they want, and they live in the lap of luxury for the rest of their life.
I
So
think that might be the biggest mistake though that rich people make is not doing that because like if I had someone like I'm not even saying it's controversial, but just personal things, I wouldn't want it like, the kind of underwear I
yeah,
like to wear out there to the world. I'd rather
yeah,
like not
yeah,
tempt
just take
someone
care of
to
them.
talk
Yeah, yeah,
trash
yeah.
about
And
me.
especially if you have a child with somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? So you just take care of them and just be quiet.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah. All right. Who's
Who's your
your
mess?
mess?
Oh,
Oh, Todd.
my mess is definitely Todd. It was too
Todd.
comfortable. Todd, I
Todd,
don't think he
Todd,
signed
Todd,
up for
Todd,
this
Todd.
show, and I'm happy that it seems like
And I think we're going to hear a lot about him in the coming episodes
I
too.
think so too. And I also think that like,
Oh, we can't leave. No, 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 no. This episode's not over. We didn't talk about Robert.
oh my God. How did you know what? I was so shaken by it.
I was too. I really was. I felt bad for Mary. What's he vaping? I don't know. It's
That's not what this is. Okay. If
okay.
he was
No, no,
vaping,
I
it
know
doesn't
that.
matter.
But I mean, he did have a vaping pen in his hand.
That's the least of his problems. You don't vape and look like that.
Okay, I don't know anything about it, but I felt so
You
sorry
see
for
people every
Mary.
single day that you wouldn't think are that are vaping and you don't notice because it's not like that.
All right, well, what was that?
Crack.
Was no, no, no. Was that what was he vaping?
He might be vaping, but my point is that's not why he's in the state that he's in.
No, no, no. I'm asking what was in that, do you think? Was it tobacco or was it probably cannabis
It
or whatever
it
goes
wouldn't
in
really
those?
matter. I don't know. It
Eh,
wouldn't really matter.
okay.
Yeah, like honestly,
Well, I would imagine if he's smoking openly in front of his mother, he tells her it's nicotine.
I don't know. I mean, I don't think that you're like it probably is nicotine because like you just you need to learn a little bit about cannabis. It's just to understand that it doesn't have this impact on like it's not Robert
No,
Jr. is on hard drugs.
no, I agree with
Yeah.
that, but I'm saying whatever he's got in his hand, he's doing in front of his mother, is what I'm saying.
And I hate to say it, I don't think that she cares if it's tobacco or cannabis.
Oh, okay. I don't know how I mean, she knows there's something wrong
That's
with
what
her
I'm saying. No,
son.
I think that if he was just smoking pot, Mary'd be like, he's a pothead. He needs to get out of bed. But she's genuinely like, there's a difference here. This is like, let me tell you something. When you're high, you don't act like he did when he was walking up the stairs. You don't, that's not what you do
No,
when
I
you're on cannabis.
know.
Think
I
about
feel
cannabis.
so bad for her.
The reason why I choose cannabis over alcohol is because whenever you want to snap out of being a little stoned from cannabis, you can. It's very simple. You just tell yourself, I don't want to be high anymore. And you just have to it's quick. It's easy. It's not something that's long lasting. Like, so I think that from what we saw in the preview scared me the most. But I have to say that Mary, I don't think we've ever seen a housewife.
I felt bad. I really did.
I don't think you need to at all. She knows exactly what she's doing. She is
Oh.
so happy that Bravo is showing this way.
Oh, okay.
Her intention is to help people, and I
I hope he
it
gets the
does.
help, and I hope he gets better, and the reason I just have shades of, like, Laurie Peterson again. That's all, and
Laurie
Josh
Peterson did
died.
not do this on the
She
show.
didn't. No, she didn't not well, she did deal with it,
Not like this.
but she didn't deal with it like this.
Mary is not
No.
hiding anything. Mary is showing him, well, she's telling her to hide from the women, but she's not hiding him from the cameras. And it seems that I think that I have a feeling that they must, similarly how we see that the cameras pick up when there's a cheating scandal or something.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think
yeah.
when they had his intervention and he had to go to rehab, I think that she called Bravo and she said, we're doing it and I need cameras here. And I think that, like,
I
I have a
hope so. I
feeling that,
felt bad. I hope he gets the help. I just could think of
oh,
Josh
I think so. I think so.
Peterson all over the
And I'm
place
just
again.
happy that, and I hope to God, and this is my call out there, Robert Jr., if
Mm.
you are able to find peace, please come on the show next season with your mom and show people what a difference getting help makes.
Yeah.
Show people the clarity, like have your redemption moment. This is definitely difficult for you, I'm sure, to watch this on camera, even if you are better.
Right.
It's going to feel 10 times better when you watch yourself come back and when you're
Yeah.
able to, because let me tell you, I know how it feels when you don't get to watch yourself on a show.
Mm.
And I'm telling you, if I could watch that transformation, wow, because I know how it feels, just the transformation. I know how people
Right.
like you have
Right.
seen my transformation, and I
Right.
I listen to that. But I'm sure to watch it, to see yourself truly high and stoned, and then and not you have me saying stoned, so high and cracked out, whatever it is, we don't know.
Right.
To
Just hi.
seeing clarity, owning your truth, hopefully being
Well,
able to speak
I
about
hope
it.
he's doing
Yeah.
better. I really do.
But Mary,
Yeah.
you've done the first thing. And, like, you know what? This is why when I say, like, the housewives is important, it's important because, like, whatever way you want to spin it, a million people watch these shows.
Mhm.
And a million people have watched 20 years of housewives. When they get to hear about Kim Richards relapsing, and they get to hear about Russell Armstrong committing suicide, and they get to hear about
Yeah,
Jen
it brings it all
frauding,
home. Yeah.
defrauding elderly and going to prison, and Teresa
Right.
Giudice having financial problems and going to prison, and
Right.
people look at the housewives as trash. And I ask anyone that says that to
No, housewives are a reflection of the society in which we live in.
totally, but I also
Yeah.
think if that's going to be the case, make it the full society. And thank you, Mary, for showing that, because now you're showing
Yeah.
people that think that they're above being honest about that stuff. People, and we've all seen it. We have experiences in our family of people in denial, and we have people in
Mm.
our family about people that are open. And let me
Right.
tell you, the real healing in your life, or the helling, as Whitney would say, is when you get to see someone recover and you get to
Right.
see them evolve and grow
Yeah.
in a healthy
I
way.
know. Well, I
So
hope he's doing better in rehab. If he's out, I God bless him.
absolutely. And let me tell you, Mary and your son, actually, Mary, I want to help you and I want to do a podcast with you, and I'm going to write you a note. I think we could have a
I would
great
love
one
that.
talking about recovery.
Yes, I
I love
agree.
you,
All right.
Mary, and love you, Auntie, and love
I
you,
love you
listeners.
too, Andrew. All
We'll
right.
talk to you soon.
All right. Bye.